Hey, it's Russ Payne with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Eclipse Phase, second edition tonight on the RPPR Patreon. If you want to learn more, go to patreon.com/RPPR. Learn how you too can play in a game run by me, a podcaster who does this a lot.
It's worth every penny, folks.
I've written for Eclipse Phase. I run other games too, including So anyway, before we get into as we begin the scenario, both of our agents are in a simul space meeting, which is a bland hypercorp stylized boardroom. This is taking place on a secure network on a facility in a deep space vessel before you're going to be farcast or transmitted to Iapetus, which is we'll talk. I guess we'll have that briefing then. But before that, both of you can introduce your characters. So first off, we have Specialist Kane, aka Constantine, I believe.
Yes, Constantine is his Firewall name. Mm-hmm. Specialist Kane is a mercenary, criminal, military communications expert. He's got a flavor of hacking and a flavor of shooting people when hacking fails. I'm riding in a flex bot with a crafter module, a fighter module, a rogue module, a wizard module. I have installed a ghost rider module in the rogue module, which holds an icon infomorph currently inhabited. We belovedly call him Specialist Ghost. So one fork on me playing security consultant.
Okay. And how do you look like in the simul space? What is your avatar?
Very Rumsfeld, suit and tie, industrial, corporate, but I also have two heads.
Okay, so a human, a human CEO with two heads.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Nice.
Are you actually wide enough to accommodate the two head, or is it like the that 1970s movie about the black guy? There's a blaxploitation movie where man with two heads. Let me pull up it. It's actually pretty funny. The thing with two heads.
Or is it like Homer Simpson with Mr. Burns' head on the neck?
Well, that's kind of what the vibe it's going for. So,
all right. The suit is well tailored to fit a man with two necks. That's what I'll say.
Okay, so here I'll put this in game chat. But that's what I was picturing when you mentioned that. But it's a little better than that, huh?
It is a little better than that. Yes.
Okay. It's
is that
very
Archie
good
Bunker?
No, it is not.
Huh.
It's they're kind of no-name actors. It's a very low-budget movie. I don't know if you could tell.
It's the kind of movie Ross watches.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, they transplanted a white bigot's head onto a soul brother's body. Yep. Oh, so that's right. Constantine, but there's another agent there. And introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Lena Ivanova. I will not be doing an accent, but she's Russian as hell. She's an info life that was developed by the Hypercorps and was stolen by a bunch of anarchists and scum. There was some damage in the stealing process, but she's a scum info life. I mean, I don't really know how to articulate it. She's like the one middle manager that's actually in the scum.
Okay, yeah. There's always got to be the den mother type that keeps things running, and keeps things operating, because,
otherwise the kids will starve.
Otherwise there'll be an electrical fire. You see that later.
Mom, look, I turned all of our food into plutonium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. I need to call someone.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom, I got to use the nanofabricator again.
But yeah, she's a techie, but she's also talky, and habitation, etc., industrial machinery, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And today's mission, Mom, we can't agree what to do with the X threat.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, that explains why you're there, at a minimum. So what does Lena or 925 look like in the simul space?
Yeah, her firewall code name is 925. Actually, I had another idea, but let's go with like the classic kind of 90s commercial mom who's kind of like overworked. You know, there's got to be a better way.
Okay.
But
Regular ass clothes. And,
yeah, regular, a little on the frumpy side,
Mhm.
gum in her hair, etc., etc.
Pixar style dump truck ass. No. Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
fine.
I'm gonna have to have words with the person who installed that mod on me.
Yeah, it's just the generic avatar that they had. So your proxy zealot is there to do the mission
Whoa, whoa,
briefing.
whoa, 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 whoa! I haven't even seen security clearances, no exchange of codes. Hold on.
Okay. We can do that. What do you do when the apartment building has insects?
Burn it to the ground.
Yes. Here's my cryptographic
Nice.
code. You are welcome to
All right.
countersign. You can contact your own server if you need to. We can take all the time you want to verify. We're in accelerated time.
Just gonna say that no, not a long time, but 3 separate handshakes go out.
Okay.
I'm triple verifying. That's my muse, myself, and my ghost.
That's
all right.
Perfectly all right.
All right.
So, Bartleby, Proxy Zealot is comes to you in the civil space, dressed as a like he just walked out of the Les Mis set. Just sort of like French Revolutionary, just fresh from the riots. And he did. So we have a situation on Iapetus, and it's been a long-standing issue, but it's becoming harming the efficiency of our operations, and possibly beginning to jeopardize it. We need someone to untangle this Gordian knot. In short, we have we have set up a long-term. Two different servers have cooperated. Well, a number of servers come and cooperate, and we've sort of created a very elaborate front organization of a autonomous. Ostensibly, it's an autonomous Titan busting collective that set up operation on Iapetus to do research and development of new anti-Titan weapon technology and methods, and of course also help contain the mess on Iapetus and disarm any threats. It's been very invaluable to Firewall. Their advances, their discoveries have been used in numerous other operations, and they've put to bed a number of smuggling They've also stopped a number of smuggling operations of people trying to smuggle Titan artifacts and technology out of Iapetus. It's been very rewarding for us. So no one server has the resources to manage this. So we've had to. People from a lot of different ideologies and backgrounds have had to work together, and but being at what they feel like is the front lines of the war to protect humanity from X threats, everyone's been willing to put aside their differences to work for the greater good. Unfortunately, a potential X threat has been discovered, and after quite a bit of research, 2 proposals have been developed to disarm this weapon. Well, this device. Unfortunately, both proposals this has become a political issue as the camp has brokered down into roughly half and half, favoring solution A and solution B. They're both. I don't know if you're anti-Titan technology specialists, but the details are quite technical. It's very complex. I'm not. Even if you're an engineer, you have to be a specialist in this field to even have a hope of understanding it. So we and this has been around for months, but the longer this has gone on, the more people are getting afraid because it's causing a lot of stress to have this potential WMD or X threat sitting there, and we simply, and yet no one is able to act because it needs the resources of the entire collective to do either one. They're mutually exclusive. You either do proposal A or proposal B, and hence both sides though have agreed to allow an outside mediator to come in with of course an assistant / communication specialist to, of course, transmit relevant information back to us. Hence the two of you, and that's why you're not getting other additional agents, simply because that would be potentially destabilizing. So I guess I should begin by asking, how familiar are you with Iapetus?
Let me see how familiar my character would be with Iapetus.
Okay.
Whiff. Never heard of it.
All right.
What would this be a roll against?
You can make any number of skill checks.
Some kind of knowledge or interest, probably.
Mm-hmm. Those would be the most relevant ones.
I could just drool a little and just try to do a quick research check.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, actually make it. 19 under 35.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now you explain to Ross everything you know about Iapetus.
Well, it's apparently got 2% of Earth gravity.
Yeah. Oh boy. So
That's not microgravity.
Iapetus is a moon of Saturn. During the fall, a large number of refugees went there, over 200,000, and it was sort of a success story for a while. But later on, there was an exsurgent outbreak, one with with very unique characteristics.
Oh no!
The Nope. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
Wrong lever, Kronk.
So Iapetus, refugee camp during the fall. Hundreds of thousands of people went there. Then there was an exsurgent outbreak with unique characteristics. This primary unique characteristic is that it converted as many people, instead of forcibly uploading their minds, it converted them into exsurgent workers, worker bees, and then engaged in a mass construction project, a mega engineering project to convert the entire moon into, well, the leading theory is a Matryoshka brain. So a Matryoshka brain is essentially a layered computronium machine. It was not a full Matryoshka brain because that involves building a series of Dyson spheres around a star and using the waste heat from the inner spheres to power the outer sphere layers. But there's planet-sized ones. So it's basically essentially turning the entire moon into a giant computer using the minds of everyone it had captured. However, years ago, it just abandoned the project. Mass construction stopped. Many of the exsurgents, when this stopped, gained some semblance of free will. Many committed suicide. Others begged for mercy. There have been actually some experimental. Some have been captured and have been converted or cured of their exsurgent virus. Although this is highly debatable because they have obviously the cases we're aware of, the people have gone into hiding and not allowed themselves to be tested to be proven. And once exsurgent, how do you know if it's ever been cured like that? So to that degree, But some parts remain active, and there are exsurgent threats there, and some parts have been. It reshifts, re-engineers itself at random intervals. So we're not sure. No one is exactly sure what happens, but it is a semi-active exsurgent site that has been bombed from the surface by the Titanian Commonwealth on several occasions, but numerous polities have set up bases and operations there to monitor it, to study it, and to loot it. So we have a operation there called codenamed Caribou Abyss. This is where you'll be heading. Before you go, you will be when you get there, they will install memory locks on you to so that your knowledge of what happens there will be excised from you when you leave. Just so you know, because they have numerous operational details they do not want leaving the moon's surface. Of course, you have given the priority of this mission. You will be given a briefing of what you do afterwards, based on the reports you send us while in the field. I will be debriefing you afterwards.
I'd like Specialist Ghost to be sent first so that he can supervise the procedures that are going to be performed on our morphs.
Yes, of course. The logistics will be worked out. But once you instantiate it on the planet, on the moon, sorry, you will. Your primary goal is to get the two factions to work together to agree on some proposal, whether it's proposal A or proposal B. It makes no difference to us. It's a very technical topic, and we cannot determine which one works best because they do not share all the details of it because of the dangers of transmitting that data. Basically your main goal isn't even necessarily to pick a proposal. It's to get the two factions to work together again. They are beginning to distrust each other. They're not working together in teams anymore. They're beginning to hoard supplies, and things are getting tense. Because each faction is blaming the other for any shortcomings or failures. So we feel if this continues for another 6 months, they could actually, they could start attacking each other. In which case, we basically have lost Iapetus, and we'd have to start all over again. It's a high-stress environment, so it's perhaps inevitable. But that's your briefing. But yeah, if you want questions answered, I'm happy to do so.
Did you bring a Faber, Lena?
I've got a medium one on me. Well, it will be on me.
It sounds like we're going to have to build a consensus.
Hello. All right. So, are there any other questions?
All of the people working on this project are anarchists?
No. Well, that's the front. Because numerous polities have the Titanian Commonwealth, for example, has a large presence. They have a presence on the moon, but they also have a interdiction drone network or fleet in orbit to prevent, although it's not nearly as efficient as the one on Earth. The Jovians keep up to every polity keeps tabs on it or maintains operations. So obviously, because Firewall's a covert organization, we can't just claim our own stake officially. So we're anarchists hunting, doing what's good for reputation.
And is Caribou Abyss the front name or the code name?
The code name for the operation. It's
okay.
The official code name of the base that they operate of, I think. So,
what's the actual name of the autonomous Titan busting collective front organization?
The Olympians.
Okay.
Because they slay Titans.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, any other questions?
Okay. The two main groups. which political faction of the greater solar system is the most prevalent in each group?
Oh, well, honestly, it's an eclectic mix-up on both factions. They're all dedicated. Everyone on Iapetus is a very dedicated firewall agent. So
Dossiers. We want the dossiers.
Well, you can't get the full dossiers, but I can give you profiles of both the leaders that sort of summarize their arguments and their beliefs. You see, Firewall has its own factions. We are susceptible to politics as every other one. The two main factions are the structuralists and the conservatives. The structuralists believe in emphasizing firewall as a structure. They want to reinforce the hierarchy, organizational elements. There's some in the structuralists who want to make firewall a public organization, and go public. Their leader is Lacaire, codenamed Lacaire. He is a former Titanian Commonwealth Science Police operative. The other side frequently accuses him of being a double agent. I don't know how much you know about the Titanian schism, but it was complicated. The other faction are the conservatives. The conservatives are perhaps the more stereotypical erasure agent, but they have their own scientists and Argonauts. They're let's blow it up to be sure, kind of. Kill it before it can kill us. That's sort of the conservative mindset.
Preaching to the mosque, Ahmed. You're preaching to the mosque.
Mm-hmm. Their leader is Habari. She is a former gangster who came out of a triad on Luna, but then switched over to becoming an enforcer on a scum swarm. Our stars are the destination. So a very colorful background, many would say, but she is often accused of being simple-minded and to the point of, being dull. Is to put it generously, but I'm sure both faction leaders will want to meet with you and talk to you to persuade you. They, of course, will provide more details about the nature of this X threat. I think I don't know much. Well, we have not been given much information about it. I have not been given much information about it because it seems people higher up in Firewall have decided that it is not relevant for your mission, at least at this juncture.
Okay, so it's just everybody's a true believer. They're just divided on the project. It's not like half are Jovians and half are going to be uplifts. Gotcha.
No, yeah, it's more complicated than that. There's Jovians and uplifts and Mercurials and Rusters and all that. It's more Firewall politics. These are all lifers in Firewall.
Speaking of Firewall politics, how much do I trust my proxy? How much do I reveal? Do I write interim reports or do I write final reports? Do you know what I'm talking about relationship-wise?
Mm-hmm. Are you asking me, the GM, or are you saying that in person?
I'm asking you, the GM, about, my experiences with this proxy. Should I discuss my below-the-book gray market plans or just turn in a final report with a good score?
I would say both of you. This is your first time meeting Proxy Zealot.
Okay. All right. Well,
you have both been recruited for this special mission, so outside of your normal duties.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep my mouth wide shut.
Okay. So, do you have any other questions?
Where are the headquarters located on Iapetus?
It's underground, deep underground, in a tunnel network. Other than that, you do not need to know exact
latitude and longitude. Ross, immerse me.
No, you are not. You're not going to be given coordinates
it's
while you are in transit. Yeah, you're not going to be given coordinates until you are there.
Okay, so we're just going to a hole in the ground. Gotcha.
Yep.
We will hand wave your transportation networks because whether you get there through shuttle or through farcasting is irrelevant because you just a quick cross dissolve later.
If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign moon that is forever Firewall.
So both of you will cut to let's see. So how are you doing? So Constantine is in a
Flex spot.
flex spot. So you're just in a series of flex spots, and then 925 is an infomorph.
I'm in a hibernoid.
Hibernoid. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
I would like to not just ride around on his back and not touch anything.
yeah.
I really thought it would be kind of fun having the entire party in one physical body.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't blame you for wanting your own.
there's only 2 of us. Maybe if there was more people, but yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I can only be as many as 5 people for you.
Fair enough.
All right. So the two of you, well, we'll start with 925 being sleeved into the hibernoid, exactly as you have it statted out, and Constantine is also there. So you're both in the sort of the welcome facility there. There is a your greeter is codenamed Medusa, and she is in a I forgot what they call it. I think it's the Theseus morph. That's the Titan fighting morph. Yeah, she isn't a specialized biomorph, but she's wearing heavy body armor, environmentally sealed with several weapons strapped to her. And you're basically, in a underground ice cave, or rocky sort of cavern. Is like everything in this is underground mining operation is basically what it initially resembles. And she says, well, welcome to Caribou. Before we go in, I have to run a verification on your memory locks. Everything from this point forth will be subject to your memory lock. And when you leave Iapetus, it will be removed. So your next memory in your main continuity will simply be you being debriefed with whoever debriefed you. So
I'm familiar with that feeling.
Any last words for yourself before you go through?
Yes, sorry, to the GM. Ross, can I pause you? You railroaded me past doing something before we left through Handwavium.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to use my Firewall rep to try to get really juicy blackmail material on these 2 leaders that we're going to be meeting with.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sorry, I slipped my mind to ask if you guys wanted to do anything before you.
That's quite all right. Quite all right.
Yeah. Who do you want to go after first? Lacater or Habari?
I do want. Let me check my notes about which. Yes, Lacater. I want Lacater's blackmail first.
Okay. And how are you doing that? Just a networking check.
Yeah, IREP.
Mm-hmm.
That and roll. I haven't looked at the rules for the new reputation. Is it just my rep is my?
I'd say it's a favor. And I would say the type of blackmail you get, it depends on what level of penalty you want to your skill roll. So, do you, if you want like life or death stuff, that's going to be a -30. And that because that's going to be like a major favor, whatever the highest level is called. A moderate one that would be very embarrassing would be a -10, and a minor thing that would make him look bad in an argument would be at base. So,
all right. Well, I'm at
minor,
45.
moderate, or major.
I'm at 45. I think I had better go after.
Now you can spend a point if you have the social moxie.
Unfortunately, no. It's
okay.
the moxie is the one thing I don't have.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna roll 1d100. I'm gonna do it at a -10 penalty, so 35 is my target number.
Okay.
And I fail.
Okay. In the time frame that you have available to you, you are unable to do so.
Damn it. That's the breaks.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can do the same thing for Habari if you want.
Yes, I would very much like to. Maybe I can do a little better this time. And nope, resounding failure.
All right.
Starting the night off right.
Get those bad rolls out of the way.
There you go.
So since I forgot to do that with 925, did you want to do anything as prep before you went?
All I really want to do is make sure I leave the kids with a babysitter, which is to say fork myself and leave myself behind.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, integration is going to be a real bit. Well, actually not going to be too bad because you have the memory lock. So you'll just be like, you'll get a debriefing version of what you did. So
I've got a lot of gaps.
Yeah, you've got a lot of gaps. Yeah, definitely not something you should stress out about later.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine because these people at Iapetus are going to remember what you do.
My character does not have any mental problems. They're all somewhere in the gaps.
Yep. Okay, so going back forward, sorry about that. The Medusa says, yeah, look, turns to you. Well, actually, both of you. Do you want to say anything before we turn the memory locks on?
Yeah. Where's my advocate? Where's Mr. Ghost?
He's inside. He's already made it. So this is sort of a point of no return. He can't talk to you before you have the memory lock turned on because of you don't want to reveal anything inadvertently or through a code or anything. So once you turn the memory lock on, you can talk to him.
That's reasonable. Whether or not he hacked his way around that beforehand, I may never know.
Well, if he does hack and he's caught, he's gone.
Right. So if he did, he wasn't caught. That's all I'll ever know.
Yep. All right. Looks to you, 95. Is there anything you want to say to yourself before I turn the memory lock on?
I'm looking forward to this vacation. Let's do this.
All right. Memory lock's on. You don't feel anything. So all right. So we're going to take a long walk through a security scanner to verify that you are you and that you're not carrying any unwanted packages. And then you'll be outfitted you'll be given a mesh with information about Caribou. Caribou Abyss is actually two sections, where Caribou, which is our base of operations, the Abyss is, well, that's a ways off, and that's where the problem is. So we'll deal with that later. But first, go through here and follow these steps. And so you walk through. It's basically walking through a tunnel, but you just know it's been built with tons of like T-ray scanners and nano detectors and all kinds of shit to detect that you're not secretly something that you're not supposed to be. So she is going through it, and you two are going through it along with all your gear. So that takes a few minutes. This is basically, you realize this place is on a permanent war footing. This is, I don't know if you guys have experiences with the fall dealing in the front lines, but it reminds you of that if you did. Or it looks like documentaries about the fall that you've seen. So, but as you walk, Medusa says, well, you can ask me questions while we're doing this. This takes a few minutes.
Do you think that Lacaire would betray the trust of a loved one for Firewall?
Yes.
Good man.
I mean, everybody here, we're here because we're the kind of people who would do that. You don't get here you get here because it's not your first or your fifth or your 10th mission. It's you've lost track or it's been deleted how many missions you've been on, or no one really knows how many you've been on. And you find it nice here. Most of us only leave when we're forced to leave because we've been here too long. They don't want lifers here. So we have to go on vacation sooner or later. There's,
Do you want me to offer kinesics checks, or are you just going to call for them from me when someone lies to me?
Yeah, you can ask for them anyways. I mean, she's just making small talk at this point, but yeah, you can assess Medusa.
Okay. I have a specialization in discerning motivations, and that's a success at a 60.
Okay.
So that's one superior success. Is that what that is in the new nomenclature?
Yes, I believe that is correct.
It's over 33.
I haven't run Eclipse Face since January or February. So, well, no, yeah. Have I run it here? Since the when's the last time I ran it?
We're not your personal secretary.
Yeah, I'm just looking up.
Temporary secretary.
Let's see. What have I? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna take a little break. Let's see here.
That's fine.
No. I'm just looking at. All right. So I ran Nice Black Agents before I left for Australia. Then I ran Scum and Villainy. Let's see here. Gumshoe. Figure itself. Sorry. Space Raiders. Red Markets. Yeah, this is the first one I've run since I got back. Because I've been running everything else. So, anyways, I'll take. Yeah, that's a superior success. She's not trying to hide anything right now.
Okay.
So you read her. So,
for my superior, can I have like some detail of her emotional state? So maybe something unexpected. Like I'm sure she's giving an intro, but just maybe a read.
You get the sense that she is very much also assessing you, especially since you brought up LeCare and asking a very pointed question.
Sure.
That's the kind of question that can get you shot in the wrong quarters here. People here are on edge.
Hair trigger.
Yeah. So, be very polite or be very sure. But yeah, it's no one's going to. This is like a war zone, even here in the safety of the camp. So, people are very paranoid because they have to go to the most extreme lengths to sort of live and work and sleep in the midst of exurgent horror and Titan terror. Like everyone has to push themselves to the utter limits to keep this place even somewhat the illusion of safety. Caribou is an oasis in the middle of the sun. And there's a lot of work and it takes a great toll on everyone involved. Although they take pains not to really make a big deal about it. So 95, is there anything you want to do or say or try to figure out while Medusa's talking?
Yeah, sure. How long has this project been running and how long have you been down here?
I don't know how long it's been running. I don't have a full operational history. Probably the Olympians started popping up on public meshes like 3 years ago. So I don't know. I've been here about 7 months. I have about 4 months left before they'll kick me out. Assuming I don't have a traumatic experience, which would just accelerate that. Every operation so far has been good, but 1 year in, well, not even a full year, 11 months in, 22 months out is the rule around here based on what an averaged firewall agent can last and still remain effective.
Okay. Is there anybody who's been here and almost reached the 11-month date?
Yeah, there's always a couple people about to rotate in or out. I'm sure you can find them. There's about 100 people here. And I don't care. Do you want me to make an introduction for you? Once you get through the tunnel, you can get the AR directory and you can start making inquiries yourself.
Possibly. I just want to know, this trouble started a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what you're here for. You're the mediators.
We're here for some consultant work. Yes.
Well, that's the word. I get. Yeah. Well, they don't tell me what your job is when they just tell me to go and greet newcomers. So, you didn't look like Titan hunters to me. So, not too surprising. Anyways, you get through the tunnel. You're given ectos that have the data. You can choose to plug in them or not. But they have a map of Caribou, safety instructions, public directory of like people to talk to for certain information. LeCare is head of operations. Habari is head of security. They are basically the two leaders. That what they say goes. They both have equal authority to each other, which is probably one of the reasons why it's causing such a schism because there's no way to resolve this tension. Medusa's like, well, do you need my help, or are you good on your own to do your own job?
That depends. What are your duties?
Normally missions, just going out for patrols, acquiring, going over the wall, going over the wire. But I, the rest of my team we have some downtime, and I was bored, so I volunteered for gopher duties, light duty. That doesn't count against your rest time. It counts as rest time basically here. So I didn't want to sit in my rack and stare at the ceiling. So here we are.
Well, I can't think of anything we're going to immediately need you for, but I hate to say, if we can put you on call, could we do that?
Yeah, you can contact me through the Ecto. We don't have a public mesh here for obvious reasons. Everything's done. Those only those Ectos are approved, and other certain devices are approved to access our mesh network. Unauthorized mesh access is a big no-no. So if you want to talk to that, you can talk to our head of technical. Our IT guy, Melvin. He can, if you need your personal mesh implants to be approved.
I may consider that, but yeah, I think what I'm going to get started on is looking through the roster of who's here. So,
you start looking through the roster. Both of you get pings on your Ectos. It's from Tinker and which appears to be Lacare's muse, and another one from let's see here, Misako, which is Habari's muse. They both request meeting you as soon as possible.
So 925, can I prevail on you to meet Lacare?
That'd sound fun. That'd be fine by me. I mean, we can trade off as necessary, but I'd rather you get started talking to the head of security before I go pull my own, old scum tricks on her.
Sure. I'm going to break myself in half. We're not in combat, so it doesn't matter which two modules go which way.
Mm-hmm.
But Specialist Ghost is going to take a body and go talk to Melvin about security access and communications protocol.
Mm-hmm.
And Specialist Kane himself will reply to Misako's request. I'd be more than pleased to meet Habari. Okay.
All right. So the three of you now split up and head your separate ways. 925, you meet up with Habari. She is in a she's in a synth morph, impressively modded one for combat. Although
wait, hold on, I thought is Habari's the head of security, right?
Yeah, Habari's head of security. Misako is her muse.
I thought I was going to I thought I was going to Lacare.
Oh, sorry, Lacare. Sorry. Okay, yeah, you're going to Lacare. Okay, sorry.
We've got them all flustered.
Yeah. So you head to Lacare. Lacare is in a biomorph. He is just wearing a regular sort of utility clothing. He's not even there's atmosphere and like sufficient warmth that you don't need like a pressurized suit to survive in Caribou. You do notice that there is decorations here. They actually have used their nanofabricator to fab up. There's a lot of deer heads and like willed and antlers and other it's almost set up like a kind of like, I mean, it's still barren rock walls, but every once in a while you'll see antlers pinned to the wall or a fake stuffed deer or like rustic. It's almost like being inside a hunting lodge to see like an Adirondack style wooden chair that someone's sitting on while he's repairing a robotic arm. So you get that they have a sort of eclectic sense of humor here. but occasionally there's like a deer's butt mounted on the wall instead of the deer's head, or the other. It gets weirder. You notice weirder ones like a fractal troll mounted on the wall, or a simulation of one. Well, it's basically looked like a mutated human head. It says fractal troll on the little tag under it. Yeah, so there's people milling about. Other than that, it looks like a military base set in an underground, tunnel network. Rocky, cold, tolerable but cold. And Lacaire is basically, he has a little prefab office, like a little prefab module with its own little door and environment, and it's set up like a office. And there is a server in it, and he is sort of quietly doing work. He has a fractal finger and actually typing on a keyboard while when you come in, and he looks up to you and is like, "Oh, hello. It is 925, is it?"
And you are Lacaire. Nice to meet you.
Yes, I would shake your hand, but that's, I know, a bit of a faux pas among many of the Titan busters around here. Physical contact is,
Well, I, for one, am happy to be in a place where there's not a lot of physical contact for once.
Many Firewall agents developed that tendency over the years, and I can't blame them. I try to maintain of familiarity with it, because I have to deal with a lot of the outside agents, a lot outside organizations. So yes, I'm glad that my understanding is you're the communication specialist, not the mediator.
I do a little bit of everything. I'm mostly focused on administration and also technology.
Okay. Yeah. Are you two working together as one, or are you just sharing responsibility for mediation and communication?
Oh, it depends. It depends on what you have to tell us.
Well, I mean, you're both outside objective observers, so you have been vetted that you are not biased in one way or the other. So I'm eager to get started with whatever process you think would yield best results in this concern.
Well, I was told that we would be given elevator pitches for both options, and really, that's where we need to start.
Oh, yes, of course. So in general, the object is codenamed Obtuse Scorpion. Some people just call it Scorpion or Obtuse, but if you hear those, that's what they're referring to. It's at our second facility, which is codenamed Abyss, and that is a much less secure facility. It is everyone needs to be armed and prepared for hazards at any given instant.
Yeah, we have TACnet.
Yeah. We can give you security protocol briefings before you go if you decide to visit. I'm not sure that you'll need to. According to our best analysis, it is a fragment of the computronium. A damaged computronium fragment, which means it is theoretically able to compute as fast as anything according to the laws of the universe of physics would allow. But it is obviously damaged. And this, obviously, if a Titan AI were embedded in it, or a fork of a Titan AI or something, any like that, it would be able to process and overwhelm and outthink any defense we could we could develop, and thus it could infect anything it came into contact with a digital version of the Exurgent virus. That's our fear, of course. But simply destroying it with, say, a tactical nuclear weapon, which we could manufacture if we needed to. We have the resources here, although we have not, because we don't want to have a nuke just lying around. That seems ill-advised. It would cause more damage than would expose we're afraid of the ramifications. We also don't know if that would work. It may be able to detect the nuclear weapon before we're able to detonate it and disarm it if it's threatened. That's the problem. It's asleep, but we don't know how to destroy it without potentially waking it up and activating its defenses. Is the best analogy I can put forward. Our proposal is very detailed and very technical, and I can walk you through it, but it'll take a couple hours to get through the basics of it. And I don't know if you're a Titan technology expert or not.
No, not particularly.
Yeah. So the thing is, our recommendation comes from the very best of Titan weapons experts who have direct experience with the matter, and it's based on best practices developed from the fall and from here. And I feel is a safer, better solution. Theirs is an approach that has not been used before. It's very theoretical and very, I feel, untested. And I don't want to take a risk with something this dangerous.
Okay, so it's possibly reactive. It's definitely Titan technology, and you want to come up with something to break it just in case, or preemptively destroy it if you need to.
Yes, we just need to be able to destroy it, and I think our method is the best one to do it. It is very safe, and I think the Habari has gotten too emotionally, is not looking at this as a detached, objective observer, and is not following best practices.
Okay, well, let's not worry about the specifics of who believes in what right now. The proposals are more important.
Okay. Well, it's a very complex process. It involves use of our own nanofabricators, fabricating certain chemicals to fool its sensors. It involves, and he just starts talking, and it's basically like manufacturing a complex nanotechnology solution that transmitting things. It's basically building an incredibly complex machine to destroy the other machine. It sounds like he just begins talking about it like it's just a very detailed proposal. There's just yeah. So you can try and make some sort of skill check in a -20 to understand it, but he's just going to start going on unless you stop him.
Would I want computer science or industrial?
Probably industrial would be better.
Okay. Well, good thing I have that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crit fail.
Wow.
So internally, I'm just thinking, big robot fight other robot.
Sure, yeah. They're going to build a robot. They're going to build a robot to punch it. That's definitely what's going to happen.
You can't downgrade crit fails with points, right? I don't think you can do that.
I don't think that's a thing anymore.
I mean,
Okay.
I know it is in red markets, but yeah, I don't. Yep.
Fuck it, I'm gonna let it ride anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what you know.
Also, for the record, we're TACNetted.
Okay.
I do have TACnet.
And that's through linked miniature radio farcasters. I do have those.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say that they have greenlit that. I mean, there's so much surveillance they would be aware of it, but they're not going to you're the mediators. You need to be able to communicate with each other securely. So yeah, Firewall has okayed that.
Cool.
So I just nod and I stroke my chin and I contemplate. Well, that's a very interesting proposal. What do you have for them, or would I have to go?
Give me a deception check.
I mean, maybe I think it's interesting that big robot fight other robot.
Well, I think you need to make it. Well, no, you need to make a deception check to if you don't want him to realize you're really fucking confused.
I fail that.
All right. Well, you could flip that.
How much moxie do I have? Let me check. Where the hell is that located?
I think it's in the middle left.
I have none.
Well, there's one that lets you use it for anything.
Yeah, I have 3.
Oh,
I know I have 3
Flex.
flex.
Do you mean flex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, screw it. I'll spend I know that. Oh, yeah, I have 1 moxie. I'll use 1 moxie.
Okay. Yeah, you keep he thinks he thinks you're kind of following it. He's saying I know he's saying a lot. This is a very surface level discussion. I'm sorry. There's people who spend their it's not just even if you are an engineer. This is a very specialized new field, and we sort of developed our own discipline down here at Iapetus. We're in such first contact with that. It's become its own science essentially. So I'm dumbing this down as much as possible, but it seems like you're keeping up, so that's good. With this sort of very surface level, but you understand the complexity of this. But the important thing is that we're using the tried and true methods, and this is sort of the best way of doing it. And so do you want me to? I think we should stop now. We can go over this later, or when your partner comes here as well. I can go into more detail. We have time to discuss this, but yes.
Yeah, my partner is more action oriented and has likely had some firsthand experience. I don't know the particulars myself, but perhaps his own skill set would let him come at it from a more unique angle.
Okay.
You have access to the personnel records here?
Yes.
Okay. Around what time did the ideological differences start between you and Abari?
I mean, our first real argument for it became with our 5th meeting about the obtuse scorpion, which we have the records of. You can watch that. That's when the real schism began.
Okay.
So because Habari let emotions get the best of her, and became convinced, and now she's just too proud. She won't back down, and she doesn't understand her solution at all, but she is too proud to say otherwise. And yes. But yeah, you can. Here's the. Yeah, I mean, you can watch if you want to. You can even plug into my server. You want to watch it at time accelerated.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Can I get a date stamp off this?
Yeah, you do.
All right. Just as a quick question, how many new people have rotated into the base since?
17.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. No, 17. Yeah.
All right.
What's the total complement?
It's 91 right now.
Okay. I just like to get the names of some of them so I could speak to them myself.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
All right, and just set that list up for me real quick, and I'll take a look at this. So
okay,
I'll take a look, and you can talk to.
So Constantine, how you doing?
I want to pipe up about that very last thing that 925 mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going to be looking for the people to talk to, I'd love to deploy interest firewall cognoscenti,
mm-hmm.
and help him find the people who are in the know.
Okay.
Wow, I am all over this today. I think my character may have had a stroke.
I'll give you one name with a failure, just because there's
No, I don't want your pity, Ross. I don't want your pity.
Right.
I appreciate it though.
I would like your pity. I'm not proud.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make the skill check, so none for you. Yeah. All right, no names. So you're going to meet Habari though, right?
I am going to meet Habari, yes. Although in an equally real way, I'm going to meet Melvin.
Or which one are you going to? Well, yeah, we'll deal with Melvin. We'll deal with Melvin later. Well, okay, so Melvin's meeting is short. He gives you technical specification. He says if you want to have a mesh implant, That's fine. If you want your mesh implants to be active so that you can do this without having to use an ecto, that's fine. He just has to add a new custom implant, which is a hardware that monitors for possible exsurgent infection, and well, it'll take you out if you are compromised.
Oh, wow. We were beginning to lose interest, but Specialist Ghost definitely perks up with that last part. He says we'll take 4.
No, well, they come here. I can install it on them. We have to have 2 neutral parties observe me installing them. So,
okay. Well, over some course of this next period, we're going to have those installed in all 4 modules.
okay. Yeah, because right now you have to use your little ectos, which are your little laptop tablet thingies.
And that simply won't do.
Yep. Yeah, it's fine. He's just having a little bomb in the base of your neck to blow you up if you go bad.
Okay.
Yep.
I make it clear to him that I'm a professional in communications security and that he should feel free to call on me if he needs a hand at any point.
That's not how it works here. It's fine, but I appreciate the offer. But don't tamper with it, because I'll know. I audit those a lot, frequently, and if you do, boom.
I would not dream of tampering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. We've had to re-sleeve a couple people for it and restore them from backup, because cortical stack ain't going to be too good if that thing goes off.
Life, to be sure, is nothing much to lose.
Very deep. So that takes you a while though. So to talk to Melvin. But so the other you goes to talk to Hibari. Hibari is in a synthmorph, as I mentioned, that is sort of customized to look like a robotic samurai. She is sort of in an open air area, the armory, checking weapons, modifying them, assigning orders, that kind of thing. And she sort of nods at you. Constantine's, oh, you're the mediator.
Yes. Oh, knowing that about her morph, I'll have reshaped mine. It's all in metal, but I'm going to become the stereotypical paddy farmer.
Okay.
In outline.
Mm-hmm.
Real humbleness we're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Hibari, I'm glad to meet with you.
You don't have to be a kiss ass. I mean, it's a neat gesture, but we're all equals here. If you get here one way or the other, you can look me in the eye.
Basic politeness or gun barrels. I don't know how to give anything but those.
Sure, if that's your deal, that's your deal. I assume Firewall told you some of the basics here, but Obtuse Scorpion is a motherfucker, and we can't. It's something new, and we need new methods to deal with it. So, the scientists I'm listening to are smarter than his scientists, Lacaire scientists, and they say use method B, which is experimental, but everything down here is experimental. So we just got to do that. It's simple as that. So,
okay.
So I don't know what you need to do to prove that I'm right, but I can save you a lot of time. But if you're here, time ain't your most precious commodity.
I don't know either, but I'm absolutely willing to help you find out how I can most quickly make it clear that you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about method B. Do you have a slideshow?
I do. We can, hardware plug into a server I have over there. I have a infomorph tech guy who can happy to give you a full detailed briefing. His name is Heron, and Heron can give you all the gory details about how B works. He's one of the Argonauts. He's a good scientist, and I trust him, and I think he's right. So I'm back.
Smile indicative of the cat who swallowed the canary, I will stroll right over and jack in.
Okay, you plug in. It loads into a symbol space of a Greek temple. And there is a whiteboard, a blackboard, and there is a guy in a Greek toga. And he looks at you, he's like, "Oh, hello. You must be the mediator."
Hi, I'm Specialist Kane.
I'm Heron. I'm a Titan weapons expert, sort of a cursed science. but someone's got to do it. And one of the people who developed. I'm not the only one, but I'm the one who is the one who's drew the short star of explaining proposal B to interested parties. So I think pretty much everyone on this fucking camp has had to listen to me sooner or later. So,
do you have a background in science communication?
I've done a fair bit of it. Before the fall, I was actually a professor at Columbia University, and I dealt a lot with that, communicating with the public about science.
That's very good. Please explain Plan B.
All right. So, what skill do you want to use to try to understand this shit?
I'm gonna throw a few out. My muse is going to try to interface with this information with hardware electronics.
Mm-hmm.
At a 40. I'm just going to throw that in the dice roller first.
Okay.
And that's not going to do it for him.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, you tell me which would be more applicable. Profession, military ops, or interest, criminal methods?
What questions are you trying to answer about this? What are you trying to get out of this?
Fair question. I'm approaching it as a military commander. I'm looking for the strengths. I'm looking for the weaknesses. Where's the fallbacks? Are we committing our reserves too early?
Okay, sure. All right. Yeah. You can look at that logistical footprint of it and sort of try and wrap your head around it. Like, what is the organizational requirements? Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so military ops rolls at a 70. Maybe I could actually succeed on a roll today.
Maybe. I mean, anything can happen.
But not yet.
I mean, I think you can flip rolls.
Not yet.
I think you can flip.
I am not totally unconvinced by the idea that both mediators in no way understand the plan.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like it could be a rich area.
Okay. So what you do get out of it is it's building a machine around this machine to try and dismantle it. It's very complicated. It occurs to you, it's like, Einsteinian physics are sort of a bedrock of science. Imagine being the guy that Einstein's trying to explain this to for the first time. It's just like it's a new field of science, and there's literally not textbooks about this. So you're well educated. It's just like it's beyond the bleeding edge. Like, this is the very forefront of this. And so this is, for free. I tell you, this is involving making wild, maybe conjectures, you don't know, but it seems to be nothing you've heard about before. It's building very complex machines in order to dismantle this machine, which is very dangerous. So you could try to roll to see if you want to keep your ignorance hidden from Heron, but that's up to you.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be very plain with Heron. Heron,
mm-hmm.
I cannot follow a word, and it is possible that the abstruse nature of this information may be why there is so much discord on the matter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're certainly not the only one to make this. This is why we brought in mediators, not other engineers or scientists, because they simply get bogged down. So someone perhaps who is free from this burden of knowledge may choose, because they're both essentially taking enormous risks and making huge conjectures. Both involve at a certain point a leap of faith to assume that this technology will behave in a certain way. We have to make assumptions that it'll behave in a certain way when we give it certain stimuli. and we simply do not know. We have it. Yeah, it's a matter of faith. That's why it's become so divisive.
How big and how massive is the thing they're trying to destroy?
It is about the size. It is about 7 meters long, 3 meters tall, and 5 meters thick.
Okay. Is there a reason that we're not just going to toss this into a star?
Well, we can't. It's inside. It's underground. It's deep in the tunnels. Transporting it may wake it up. We believe it is a computronium fragment. And if it wakes up, it would simply instantly infect us. It could run an entire alpha fork of a Titan if it's what we think it is, which means it's a Titan. So it could wake up and just consume us all instantly. No mesh defense, no nano defense could defend against such a thing. If it's that bad. I mean, we don't know if it's pure computronium, damaged computronium, or if it's just something that we think is. I mean, we've never. Computronium is obviously a theoretical construct at this point. So, do you know what computronium is?
Yes, I think I have the concept.
Mm-hmm.
I got that much out of it.
Good. So taking it, of course, also trying to get in the star would be enormously risky too, because the sun is a very far away, and there's many factions that would detect it on their way and would probably try to steal it and use it for themselves. There's an enormous number of people in this solar system who are very short-sighted and greedy. If we were going to do something like that, we would take it and we would manufacture a nuclear warhead and simply detonate it and try and vaporize the thing. But we're afraid that if we do that, it would detect the nuclear weapon and wake up.
And this being a new material, we have no idea what actually wakes it up.
No, we have conjectures and theories.
Mm-hmm.
And there's evidence that can be interpreted in certain ways. We have many sensor readings from it, and many events, but these events are sort of ambiguous. Like somebody was walking and fired a weapon 2 kilometers away from it, and then it gave a brief surge of energy inside of it that was very minor but detectable by your instruments. Perhaps it detected the railgun being fired at a fractal troll 2 kilometers away and reacted to it. Or maybe it was a coincidence. That sort of thing.
This I would have caught from his plan. Is the backup a whole cluster of nukes around the project?
There is no backup because we believe if either plan is executed and fails, it'll wake up and conceals. We also believe it's going to wake up on its own, which is why we have to deal with it now. We don't. I mean, we can manufacture a nuke in about an hour and detonate it and transport it. So it'd take about 90 minutes to build a nuke and transport it and get within killing range of it. But we think if we execute either plan and it fails, we wouldn't have 90 minutes anyway. And if we build the nuke, we fear if we build the nuke, even here, it would be able to detect it and instantly wake up. We think it's aware of the presence of the space and our activities to monitor it. You know, sort of Schrodinger's dilemma here. You know, observing it changed it.
Right. Okay. Well, I leave Simul Space far more confused than when I entered it.
All right. You two can go and discuss this for a little bit. I need another beer.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to take the one moment to grab a beer myself.
Yeah, I might as well just grab a drink.
There you go. All right. Sorry for the dead air.
Oh, it's fine. You missed all of the hypnosis I was putting on the audience, but it's all right.
I'm glad. So, what the hell are we gonna do?
I don't fucking know. Okay, near as I can tell, the conservatives want to use a known method, except it may involve a large robot fighting it.
No, the structuralist. There's a structuralist.
Oh, that's
Ari is conservative. Sorry.
That's okay. That makes sense. So the structuralists want to use a known method to deal with this problem, and the conservatives literally want to build a black box around it to let it do black box shit.
Huh. The conservatives gave me the impression that they wanted to build some kind of robot to destroy it. Honestly, it just sounds like they're quibbling over the design. But I must say that the conservative plan did not involve a single backup nuke. And I'm deeply concerned about that for obvious reasons.
Well, I don't disagree, but the main issue, I understand the fact of the matter that something has to be done, and it has to be something that comes out of left field to a certain extent to the Titan or to the Computronium. I understand that, and I understand if they fuck up, they only get one chance. Honestly, Lakar is just... I can see why Habari's getting mad at him, because he's the kind of man who is just like, oh, I'm rational, I'm calm and collected, blah, blah, blah. And Habari, I know Habari, I live with scum.
I took an instant and surprising dislike to Habari, but I'm still not sure that it's not where I'd put my support.
Well, that's very true. The fact of the matter is, what we're dealing with is something I'm very familiar with, which is a stupid fight. Habari wants things done her way, and Lakar just wants to ground his arguments in facts and what he feels is correct. So...
How dare he?
Well, I understand, and I understand that he's got his own reasons, but he's dismissive and she is impulsive.
Uh-huh.
So what we do is we paint a line down the middle of the complex, and they're on one half and they're on the other half.
All right.
Or the other alternate sitcom answer, we go down into Scorpion Zone and agitate the hell out of it to force everybody to come together.
All right. Now look, I didn't want to ask this while I was with the engineer, because I was hoping that you'd be able to tell me if it sounded stupid, but it seems like you learned as little as I did. But what if they build A inside of B? Is this too crazy?
You can give me some kind of check to come up with some sort of insight. I will. You can make skill checks to give you additional clues or ideas. I will give you guys that. So,
what would be appropriate? I have.
I mean, a base. Well, I mean, for the technical thing, you can give me like a hardware check.
Can I spend a flex point to introduce an NPC, some local infomorph who has been listening in on our conversation this whole time and has just now decided to speak up on this point?
Sure. Do you want me to name them, or do you want to name them?
Oh my goodness, I really cannot quite decide.
Okay, I'll name them.
No. All right.
Okay.
Female, Ava Kasudik.
Okay, Ava. Oh, hello.
Hi there.
Yeah, hi. I'm listening in.
That's very communal of you.
Yeah. Well, we're tight quarters here. I mean, not literally because it's pretty big. But theoretically, because we're in this box and we're surrounded by death on all sides and madness. So
I
yeah.
didn't know there were any infomorphs about. Have you met Specialist Ghost?
No. And they meet, and it's very fast. Like, oh, this is neat. Yeah, there's actually quite a few. We have a lot of servers here. They're all mostly air gapped for obvious security reasons, but we actually have a very large scientific communities. There's actually 2 of them. There's probably there's 91 active personnel, but that's not counting the infomorphs. There's probably another 100 of them.
That is rank discrimination. I think you would agree.
Yeah. Well, they're all forks of researchers, so that some of them don't even consider themselves real people. Some of them are just like, I will work until I'm deleted. But I am already dead, that kind of thing. You had some weird ideas here.
I'll say after about the third me, I start to really empathize with that position.
Mm-hmm. But one of the reasons why we there's this division is both these models for building, for proposal A and B is the data. Obviously, both are data-driven proposals, and so I'm just saying, if we had better data, we'd have a better proposal. We might come up with a proposal C that's sort of we have thesis and antithesis. Maybe we could have a synthesis of them with better data. And I can't theoretically, I'm not saying you should do this, but hypothetically, there is an experiment that could be done with volunteers to peacefully, without weapons, try to physically interact with it.
Interesting proposal.
Yep. That's one of the reasons why no one has volunteered for that. Well, actually, no one can volunteer for it because we all have operational data in our heads that could be dangerous. Now, if somebody would say a memory lock, and they could simply be, that memory lock could be, used so that you just wake up from wherever you were before the memory lock, and you're just like, hey, we need you to go interface with this weird artifact that we found, and you go and do that. Then you wouldn't be giving away operational data about how this base is run. That could be dangerous in the artifact's hands, theoretically speaking. As an idea. I mean, otherwise you just have to get one side to concede. That's really it. Because you'll be gone before they execute either option. Because it'll take them weeks to implement each one. Once you get consensus, you go. So like, you get one side to concede, that's great. But you might, make it. It's your idea. I'm not saying you should do this. In fact, it's very dangerous. You probably shouldn't. But
I want kinesics against this sprite.
Same.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's against a 90, so
I fail.
Crit success.
All right, I'm gonna roll another server to keep it secret.
That's fine. I have finally had the die turn my way once.
Oh, you got a critical success?
Yes, 90 minutes and counting. We're finally getting into the game.
Okay. All right. So, you
gaze into her soul.
Oh God! Oh no! Oh no! Was this the op all along? Was this not about being mediators, but being maneuvered into being guinea pigs?
Been there.
Yeah. Oh God! You can't rule it out, but boy, they certainly did want to sort of make that an option.
I want to make a will save on that.
Okay.
Because although that's exactly what I expect out of my loving Firewall, that's still pretty fucked up.
I failed, so I know what I know.
Yeah,
I
you know.
I did succeed, so apparently I can take it.
Yep.
I got a lot of gaps.
Yep.
Oh shit! All right.
So
Well,
yeah, out of character, you don't have to do that, but like that is you need to make one side the thing is to get one side to concede or do this thing.
In character, that's exactly what I would do. Realizing that I was sent here to be the goat, I say, meh.
Like, I mean, it's your idea. Don't look so defeated. It's your idea. I'm just giving you information.
Well, we do honestly need to get information on Scorpion in order to make an informed opinion, unfortunately.
Yeah. Data drives both proposals, and like the data that we have is very could be better.
Ava, if ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. No. There's a reason I'm here. I should be in hell because of what I've done, and this is hell. So,
to a near approximation. All right. So, to whom do I propose becoming a sacrificial lamb? Or will you arrange it now that I have come up with the idea?
Wait, are you actually suggesting? Are you actually going to be volunteers for this for an experiment? Are you actually going to get more data?
I call Medusa.
Oh. All right. Yeah, this is Medusa.
Hey, Medusa. We're thinking we need to go down into Scorpion to take a look at it and see what's going on.
Like to look at it or to get more data on it? Because we have oh shit! Are you actually going to try and get more data on it?
We're going to try to go down into the abyss and then see what we see.
Okay. There's a security briefing that you need to do, but I can do that. So just load in to come to this server. We'll plug in, and I'll give you the briefing. So on how to do it safely. Make sure and we'll do some training. We need to do some time accelerated training. Make sure you can use all the gear right. But yeah, sure, we can do that.
And I nod to Kane.
Yep. So all of you go to another sort of prefab module. You go inside.
On the way, Specialist Ghost walks up. What did you get us into?
Yeah, Ghost would be like that.
We merge again and bicker just a bit.
So yeah, the three of you go to the prefab module. The Medusa's there. You plug into the air gap server, and you load up into a training simulation that is a replication of the. Basically, she's like, all right, we're just going to do a quick walkthrough of like what you do, and then we'll do a virtual run of it, and I'll throw a couple of little things at you, see how you handle it. And then I can give you as much data about what we do and what our protocols are as we want. So should be pretty easy for veteran agents like you, right? So so you go through the simulation training, and it's basically walking for a couple kilometers in there, then getting on a little train, like a mining cart kind of thing, self-powered, and you go about another 20 kilometers. Then you have to go down about 600 meters down a shaft, basically rappelling straight down. You have to be in full environmental hard suits, and weapons hot the entire time.
Well, I don't need any kind of. Do I need any kind of protection being a fully cyber organism?
Sure. I mean, there's still nanoswarms that can infect you.
That's more than fair.
Yeah. There's multiple vectors. Also, mimetic hacks. So yeah, basilisk hacks. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. The new rules did not yet have the brain box.
Yeah, it's on the. Yeah, that's true. But that's pretty easy to house rule in. But yeah,
Do they have time to install 4 meat brains in me?
no, they don't.
Okay.
They don't. But they do have guardian swarms and shit like that, and nano detectors, which you'll be running. They'll give you that equipment.
Cool.
So both of you give me some kind of check to represent your operational skill level, your prowess and just following rules and like profession military ops. That's a great one.
I came prepared.
Well, do both of you have that? Let's see now.
No, I don't.
All right, so
I have no administration.
I have a basic success.
okay, with the basic success, you're fine. You're doing it's a habitat ops with a -10. I'd allow that.
Yeah, works for me.
Yeah.
No, I fail.
How about
Okay.
how about criminal methods?
I'd say these methods are criminal, but
At a -10.
Well, no, this is for 925. I'm looking at.
I know. I want to fill in for him. I'm trying to help.
Nope, you can't fill in for him. Everyone's got to carry their own weight.
I was going to give him criminal advice.
Okay. All right. So 925. You're give me. They teach you how to do it, but you make mistakes, which is very stressful to you. So give me a will ×3.
okay.
Because you're just like, oh shit, am I about to get infected? Am I about to die? Oh god, imposter syndrome. All right, so you managed to get over it, and they're in a time accelerated thing, so you have plenty of time to do that. So,
sorry, unarmed, was that part of the specification here?
Unarmed combat?
No, I seem to remember Ava saying something about going down there with no weapons.
Yeah, no, you don't want to threaten it in any way. That's something you're pretty sure is bad.
I have to physically vomit up guns to do that. So I will have had to have done that before leaving.
Yep, they can do that. They have technicians that can dismantle your guns.
No, it's we can vomit them out.
Okay, well then you vomit them out.
I needed to check because I was imagining getting into a fight down here.
Well, you will have weapons on the way there.
Okay,
but they have an armory station a ways off that is Faraday cage shielded and
okay, got it.
And so when you go, they have the whole thing in basically a big bubble that they keep protected, and you are basically so you'll be armed on the way there, but once you get there, when you make close contact, you'll not want to be
not wise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're pretty sure that's one of the things that can cause it to wake up. So which is of course real bad.
Yeah.
But there's different levels of awakeness, of awareness. So they're hoping that they actually get some awareness so they can get better readings off of it, with just that without pissing it off. So kind of like, if this is the equivalent, so someone just kind of half waking up and mumbling in their sleep and mumbling.
They want to see how that works. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you just gotta give it some stimuli without spooking it.
Okie dokie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're on our way.
Mm-hmm. So both of you give me. You're walking through a tunnel. As you leave the airlock, the safety, the relative safety of Caribou, there is a deer head with that is actually nano fabricated to look like an actual deer head with like fur and antlers and everything. But the top of it is kind of balding. It's like everyone rubs the top of the deer's head for luck. Do you rub the deer head? His name is Charles.
I do not rub the deer head.
I will rub the deer head, if only so I am control and he is variable.
All right, so we have the control.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Dude, like, who doesn't hear people rub the deer head and in their mind picture biohazard suits? Like, full of hungry nanobots.
Yep. So yeah, you're wearing armored suits, environmental suits, with nano detectors and guardian swarms. You can get whatever long gun you want. You'll be going with Medusa and 2 other secured NPC agents. But you start walking through the corridor.
Did you just glossily skip right over any long gun I want?
Yeah, you can have a long gun.
Hello,
Oh, no.
seeker rifle.
Yeah. You can have a seeker rifle.
Sold.
Yeah. There is software on it though. Medusa can override your targets if she doesn't like them. So.
The Big Brother nanny state of Firewall is out of control these days.
Well, if you want their guns, you have to play by their rules. Also, secret rifles are explosive and you are underground.
All right, well, so I brought my own guns then.
Okay, you can use your own guns because they have their own software and they're not. Are they explosive?
I do, in fact, carry a seeker pistol with tactical multi-purpose missiles.
Okay. Well, the explosives have to have the nanny software on it.
All right.
But our guns do not.
Okay, Mom.
Well, Medusa says you don't have the custom AR interface to tell where there's structural weak points in the ceiling, so we don't want cave-ins. Well,
we roll along.
All right, so you're walking for the first couple of kilometers. It is pitch black, but you have your own lights, and of course there are waypoint markers, beacons, and that kind of thing to guide you. So it's actually very straightforward. It's not, even though it's like a rocky tunnel that's been very irregular and chaotic, and at some points you have to stoop over. It's almost like going through like a natural cave. She says, Medusa does narrate a little bit. Yeah, this used to be like a regular mining tunnel, but sometimes it shifts. There's like things like we're above another facility or some other level that it somehow would just change the tunnels up here. We're not sure how. It's some sort of like nano engineering technology that is on another level that we're sort of unaware of. Seems to this kind of stuff kind of changes. Caribou Station itself had to renovate a couple of times or relocate. Fortunately, that stuff we've gotten good enough at detecting when it's going to happen that we're able to sort of not be caught by surprise by it. We should be pretty safe this way, but we're going to get to an old mining tunnel with actual tracks. So we built our own mining carts to give us a way forward. So you all load onto the mining cart. And as you start going along, both of you can give me perception checks.
If it's visual, is that okay? Visual perception?
Yeah, it's visual.
Okay, that's against
Oh, shit. I never put any points on that.
Yeah, there's no audio here. I mean, there's no sound. It's in vacuum.
Okay, so that's a success.
I literally put no points into this.
All right, well.
I still make it.
There are side tunnels that you see, and there's a burp coming from coming out of one of the side tunnels. You see a human face, like not in a spacesuit, just like a person looking at you in the shadows, but you just see the face.
Does that face have like an AR tag like the other Firewall agents do?
Nope. And no Firewall agent would be a human biomorph that is not wearing a spacesuit, because not wearing a spacesuit in this place out here, without atmosphere, and it's also super cold because it's basically like being in space. Like it's like negative 100 or something. It's very cold. Way outside the human survivable range. So that's coming up. You're going at like 20 kilometers an hour. So what is your immediate reaction? Are you going to alert the others? Medusa does not seem to know it, and neither do the other two agents.
Do you have any exsurgent infected loose in these tunnels?
Yes. What? Where? Yes.
I point.
All right. The thing, the person, all three of them take out their weapons and point it at it. The creature, you realize it can't be human because well, if it's a human, it's incredibly heavily modified to survive in vacuum at this temperature. And it retreats into the side tunnel in Medusa. Oh, that's another one. It's one of the trolls. We call them fractal trolls. They have it's an exsurgent drone. It's been a while since we've seen one up this.
Should we shoot it?
We can shoot it. We can see. Sometimes you can talk to them and get information out of them. Sometimes they just want to be left alone, but sometimes they're hostile. But we don't want it to lead it obviously to the Computronium because we have defenses there, but that's yeah, that could be complicated. You're the mediator. You tell me. Do you want to chase after it? It's gone back into the tunnel, or do you want to keep going?
Could I kinesics because it's body language and it's
you had enough of a look to give that. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, I want to do that.
Make it.
Okay.
I make it with double superior.
Okay.
Damn.
So with that, the two of you realize that it was studying your group and assessing you. It was not hostile, not for ambushing, but like he's trying to figure out something about you. Almost like there is recognition in its eyes about something about you.
I think we roll along.
Yeah, I wasn't getting any hostile intent from it. It looked like it was just keeping an eye on us.
Curious.
Not a sinister eye, but
yeah, fractal trolls are pretty fucked up, but and they're dangerous, but they're far from the worst. They're about as benign as the exsurgent virus gets. So I've still seen them kill people. Rip them apart with their disassembler hands. But yeah, fractal limbs. Yeah, they're actually they're illustrated in X risks if you want to look them up. But
ooh, yeah, I just found it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you just saw that face. So it looked kind of human, just peering through the quarter. All right, so you continue on, and you get to the mine, the little ride-ins, and you get out, and there is a giant, mining shaft that goes straight down and into the abyss. And there's ropes to tie off and go down 600 meters. So
how does the massive Computronium feel about engines?
It seems to be neutral for the most part. There are engines and devices.
For example, as a flexbot, I can fly. Thrust vector. Is that a problem?
No, there's machinery all around it. I mean, at all times anyway. It's mostly weaponry and
okay. Well, I will not need
high-end power sources also get its interest. So, like, nothing that you could put on a morph.
Okay.
But like a generator or a starship engine.
I won't use a rope. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. So, well, they have ropes and stuff like that. So,
but I can fly.
Okay. Yeah, you could fly down if you want to, but
yeah, I'll tie off on a rope.
Okay.
Medusa, how far do you go? Like in this zone, how far do you go to get close to this thing? Like you or anybody else?
Like, you mean how close have I been to Iapteus Scorpion?
Okay. Let's pretend that there is a red line in this section that nobody is allowed to cross. Well, where's that line located?
Normally, it's the line that you're going to cross when you get to it. Like there's past the bubble.
Okay.
Once you, there you go, Hustle. There's a little cute little fractal troll, little buddy, very large buddy. We haven't done any first-person contacts with the Iapteus Scorpion because all of our personnel it's too dangerous for that information to get into its head. So, but we have a procedure to activate your memory lock. To pull your memories when you get inside the bubble. So right before you go in. So yeah, it's going to be a little unpleasant for you because you're going to be a little confused. So, but I can give you any information that you want to have. I will talk you through it. So, yeah. And it is pressurized. There's atmosphere and there's oxygen and there's heat. To keep it sort of, we believe keeping it room temperature is actually safer than because if it gets too cold, it might activate defense mechanisms to prevent itself from being damaged. Also, the colder it is, the faster it can compute, and so keeping it warm is actually reducing its efficiency. But we don't want to, make it too hot because then that could damage it and thus activate the defenses. It's very exasperating. So
rather than having Medusa relay our information back to us, there's 3 of us, so let's do it in a 3-cornered fashion. Both myself and Lena tell what we need to tell to Ghost. We get wiped. Ghost briefs us in Medusa's presence, so she knows no critical information is passed. Then wipe that one and relay information. I don't trust Medusa to hold it all while I get wiped.
Well, it's just the memory lock. When the memory lock's in, basically, okay.
I fully understand, but she could distort messages. I trust no one.
Okay, so you get to the abyss station, and you put your weapons in the weapons locker, and you prepare to go in. So who is going to go in and interact with the Computronium with Iapteus Scorpion?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be going. I'm deciding if I want to leave a part of me behind or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I had better.
Okay.
So I'm going to break off just my rogue module. That's the stealth module. I'm going to break that off, leave that behind, leave Ghost in that.
Okay.
That is the one that has the Ghost Rider module.
Okay. So Ghost is staying outside. So it's but you are going in.
Correct.
Okay. So both of you go in, and you're put in sort of like a clean room / airlock kind of plastic bubble, and your memory locks activate. So both of you give me will times 3.
Make it.
All right. It's still gonna cost some.
And I fail it.
All right. So 3 for making it, and let's see here. 8 for failing it.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Oh God, you're supposed to be in a briefing room. It's like you were like, all right, we're going in, and then you're here. Oh God. Oh no. And as Medusa is like, all right, we're going to make contact. I'm going to open the door, and you're going to go in, and basically, you're going to take readings from it with the instruments from the device. So yeah, let's go each one. So 925, you wake up. You're in a clean room underground. How do you react?
Oh shit. Well, fuck.
All right.
Do I need a gun?
No.
Thank God.
You volunteered to get a data reading on a artifact. We had to activate your memory lock, so you couldn't reveal information to the artifact.
Okay.
So Constantine, how do you react?
Okay, so I last remember the boardroom, and I'm now waking up in this little room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wake up. All right, so which faction leader are we going to meet first?
You have volunteered. Hello, my name is Medusa. You have volunteered to gain information on the device. Now, if you pick up the instruments that are on the case at your feet, you can use them to get better data.
And what kind of object? Just roughly is that?
If you open the door, you'll see it.
I opened the door.
All right.
I've got a speechify before I walk through, and you'll forgive me because you have to remember that my memory was just wiped. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign moon that is forever Firewall. And then I'll go through the door.
All right. So both of you see a large silver chrome sort of barrel-shaped device that is 7 by 5 by 3 meters. Lying on its side. It is just kind of it is unlike anything you have seen before. It almost looks like the more you look at it, it's more like a stable shape of Mercury, just kind of sitting there.
Oh, wow.
You can hear a low hum coming from it. The hum is sort of picking up a little bit, very slowly, but you can definitely hear the decibels rising.
Interesting. So I pick up the device.
Mm-hmm. It's a complex scientific instrument. There are instructions written on it. There's no AR interface. It's just push button 1, pull lever 1,
Oh my
turn
God.
dial 1. This is a custom made machine.
Just for monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Oy.
Is being in the presence of this thing any particularly different for me because I have synesthesia?
Yeah.
It smells a lot bluer.
Yeah, it smells a lot bluer. We'll go with that. Yeah, it's definitely triggering your synesthesia. It is obviously unnatural. Both of you can know a Titan artifact when you see one because it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before. And Jesus Christ, what the fuck? But you start using the machines, and you can also see it's getting a little brighter. It's definitely like beginning to get like someone's turning the chroma levels up. Just getting brighter, very slowly but very surely. What are the two of you going to do? Going to stick with the instruments and follow instructions, or are you going to do something else?
Yeah. No, ours is not to question why. Ours is but to do and then to die.
All right.
Well, here's my question. So it's got a list of instructions. Does it have, and this is me metagaming a little bit, does it have, like, range at which this should be used or not written on it?
As you question, as you realize that, both of you black out, and you're in the tent again. He's like, "Hello, this is Medusa. You've been, you have a memory lock going on right now, but you volunteered to interface with an artifact. If you pick up the panel, the instruments at your feet, we can conduct the experiment, and then when you're done, you can restore your memories."
Oh, shit. Do I need a gun for this?
No.
Oh, thank God. All right, I pick up the instrument.
Okay. I mean, you remember blacking out and doing this before.
Oh, okay. So this isn't just... Oh. Wait. Did I die?
What? No? That's Medusa.
Kinesics.
Okay.
I mean, if I remember doing this... I don't make it and I can't flip it, so...
Okay.
I'll roll it.
Okay.
I'll roll it. I make it single superior.
Okay. She sounds genuinely confused. What do you mean? I just put in your memory locks.
This is the second time we've done this.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
What are the effects of the scorpion that have been known?
There's nothing like this.
No
Well-
time hopping.
No.
Huh. Okay, so last time I picked up the apparatus and I was trying to figure out what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at it. Is it still glowing or is it starting to pick up the glow?
So you're going in the room. You're in the tent right now. Are you going to open the door and go in
We're
there?
back. We would have to open
Yeah.
the door and go back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks the same. You do pick up the same increase in audible decibels and in right now, but it didn't start glowing brighter until a minute after or so after you started doing the experiment.
I'm going to proceed in the same way.
Okay, so you're going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my gut. Well, did it have the information on there, like where it should be used?
Do you mean the instrument?
Yeah.
The instrument looks the same.
Yeah, but does it have it has instructions for how to operate the instrument, but does it say like a minimum safe distance to use it?
No.
Okay.
I think he was trying to trigger the repeat there, Ross.
No. I'm metagaming a little bit.
Okay.
I walk over, I put the instrument up to the
Oh, so you're getting closer and doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you do that. And as you're using it for a second, it starts to glow. And then a hand comes out and grabs you by the wrist. It looks like it's the same kind of suit you're in. And then you black out. Both of you do. And then you're in the tent. All right, I've just enabled your memory locks.
God damn it.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
This is
Wow.
3.
So the door opens from the other side.
Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
That's in character.
It's like, what the fuck? And it's you, Constantine. It's like, this isn't real. This is a simulation. I'm going to kill you now to end it. And he starts walking towards you.
How big is he?
He's exactly your size.
Well then he's definitely fake. Do I have any weapons?
No, I mean, he's the exact same size you are right now.
Right. That's why he's definitely fake.
Okay. No, he's a doppelganger to you.
Right. That's how I know he's fake. Yes. Are there weapons handy?
I don't know. There's no. You've been disarmed of like weapons that are meant to be weapons, but there are. You could use the instruments are big, bulky like things that you could bash over each other's head.
I turn to Lena. If he can actually hurt me, he's definitely not me. And then I turn back towards him.
All right, so he goes to attack you.
Okay.
What is your unarmed?
10.
All right. He's not very good at it.
My fray is 80.
All right. Yeah, he's not very good at it.
Okay. Hell, he might be me.
Yep. So 19.5, what are you gonna do?
Can I see his? Well, no, it's a flex spot, so I wouldn't be able to like see a face or anything.
Yeah, it's two flex bots flailing at each other ineffectually.
Well, I'm gonna go in the room.
Hey, not flailing at each other. I'm not hitting back. I know better.
Okay, you're just dodging.
Yeah.
It still looks like flailing to the outside observer.
Ouch. All right, you're
so,
going in?
Yeah, I'll go into the room.
95, you go in, and you are coming out of the device. And it says, this is real. This is not the simulation. And then you all black out. and you're back in the tent.
Damn it!
Let me guess. You've just engaged the memory lock.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, yeah. That was very good.
This is four.
I'm sorry. What?
This
Fourth
is the fourth
pass.
time this has happened.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. The Titan artifact is active. It's causing a recursive time loop, and we're the only ones who can remember it.
No, we have outside observers to sort of figure that, unless it's affecting the entire universe. If it's a localized thing.
Could the Titan artifact be affecting the entire universe? Let me think about that.
He's right, you know.
Your voice comes on the thing. Well, the other alternative is that it actually hacked us and has put us in a simulation. So we're
Oh fuck!
I don't know who said that, but it's a really good point.
Russian nesting dolls. God damn it!
Yeah. So then Constantine. Yeah, that's a good point. But what if? How do we know what is real and what's simulation? And then so you two are alternate. You hear each other's voice over your own TACnet, having an argument about which is real and which is reality, or which is a simulation.
All right. Hey, I want to state for the record, and it may have no relevance, but just for the record, that the three of us are still theoretically connected by an not unhackable, because we're hackable, but it's an unjammable, unmonitorable line of communication.
Not Ghost. They would not let you go in the experiment having a link to Ghost. Like Ghost can talk over the radio, like voice, like Medusa is, but Ghost would not be allowed to have a something that could be something that would be also allow if you get hacked.
Yeah.
So Ghost is observing with Medusa, but is in the same position as Medusa. Or yeah. So
if only I were Ghost right now, I might know more about what was going on.
Okay. It's a brain on a brain on a brain on a brain on a brain. It's brains all the way down. We actually are in a simulation. We interacted.
There's actually a new voice coming in.
You shut up. I don't need you. Who is it though?
I'm just trying. That's the problem, isn't it? I'm just trying to figure out. I was given a task a while ago, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Are we in reality or are we in a simulation?
Oh, fuck, you're the brain.
Well, statistically, it's much more likely that we're in a simulation. But
that statistics...
If we take a functionalist perspective, we should always behave as though it were not the case.
But I need to find an absolute answer. That doesn't mean statistically. I need to know yes or no. That is my task.
Yes, but
fuck.
But we don't need to be impatient about it. We can take all the time we need for that task.
Yes. But I've come up with a solution. I'm going to make two ports.
Total solution?
I think I'll make up two new egos, and I'll give them bodies. Each ego will be a merger of both of yours. So it'll know everything both of you know. And one will be convinced we're in reality, and one will be convinced we're in a simulation. And whichever one you kill first will be the loser. That sounds quite reasonable.
I have a problem with that, but I can't quite find the flaw in the logic.
Yes, exactly. I've given many cycles to this. Or I could simply pick one of you and just make two copies of you. Who do you think would be better?
I would be easier to kill.
Okay, yes. I will make two copies of 925. One who's convinced it's real and one convinced it's simulation. Whichever one you murder is obviously wrong. All right, this will be as real as I can make it. I will no longer put you in a simulation. You wake up, you're in the bubble, and it's all right. I've engaged the memory locks. We're getting. Oh my god. 925.
Yeah. Okay. So I got good news and bad news. The good news is we know what it does. The bad news is the Titans tasked a piece of one of their projects with trying to figure out the answer to a philosophical question as if it was a math problem. And it's kind of worked itself into a paradox.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh.
question they gave it was, are we is reality a simulation or is reality real? So
And
I'm
as
gonna
continues to be a real theme for godlike entities, human sacrifice will be the solution.
Yeah, I'm in there twice, and it's
there's two of you that came out. There's also a knife that is been sort of dropped on the ground. They're both kneeling, and they're both pleading. They're both sort of crying and begging. You can't really hear the audio because you're still inside the bubble, but they're one says we're living in a simulation. This is not real. The other one, this is statistically, it's obviously we're in a simulation. The other one's like, no, this is reality. This is real. This is how else could the simulation would not? They're both making their cases. They're both crying.
yeah, it's because I told the Computronium I'd be easier to kill.
Oh,
this may have been a mistake, Dusa.
Obviously, those things cannot be allowed to leave the bubble.
Well, we have created a new problem. The good news is we know what this does now. It just tries to figure out whether or not reality is reality or if it's a simulation.
Oh.
So, trying to destroy the Computronium probably wouldn't result in a big bad thing happening.
Well, I mean, if it's a task head, if it's got task hedonism obsession, then anything trying to keep it from doing its task is a threat, and it would try and stop it. So, maybe, I hate to say it, but maybe you should kill yourself. Maybe it'll shut itself off or self-destruct.
Yeah, we really could just cut the entire knot if we just give it a definitive answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we won't need to go with either project.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we're making blithe assumptions about how it will react to the information one way or the other.
Well,
However,
that's been our problem the entire fucking time, isn't it?
Analyzing its motives is obviously a tail-chasing game that leads nowhere. Let's take an action.
All right.
Yeah, you go for it. I'm the one who put myself on the chopping block for this, so you get the honors of playing with the knife.
What knife? What knife? Let's have a rifle.
Nope, we can't let guns in there. Protocols are still instated. I mean, if you want to hang in for a few hours, I can relay this information back to them. We don't have real-time communications with Caribou because of obvious safety concerns. But I can send a telegram basically, and we can wait for their reply.
All right.
Your suits have survival stuff. You
925.
can live up to a week in that suit.
925, you're a very persuasive individual. Can you persuade yourself to just lay there and take it?
I think the Titans psychotherapy did that.
Oh, okay.
They're kneeling and they're saying, hey, come kill this.
No, they're begging for their life. Both of them are.
Well,
they're both absolutely convinced that they are right.
Okay, perfect.
But neither is going to resist. They're looking for you as the judge.
Okay, all right. I'm going
in. Or whoever walks in as the judge.
I'm going in.
I'll go in too.
All right, both give me well done 3 saves. And 9-5 is going to be a little more high stake for you.
I think it'll be fine, actually.
Yep. You lose 1 lucidity.
I make it.
Okay. Yeah, lose 1 if you make it.
It's a day at the office, man. It's a day at the office.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real glad I'm not going to remember this.
Yeah. All right. On your left is simulation. On your right, it's real. and there's a knife. I mean, I guess you could strangle them if you want. They
Okay.
both have their
No,
throats
No,
exposed.
so they both really want to live.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh shit.
So you two, real person and person who's convinced that we're in reality, grab him.
Are you pointing at the player character
Simulationist.
95?
Yes, we're gonna grab the simulationist.
Okay, actually, I did think of a third option just now.
Oh god.
What if we kill both?
I'm not I feel like maybe that would drive it crazy. Or it would probably just try again.
Well, also, how do you kill them at the same time?
I could do that. That's not a problem.
You only have one knife.
I could do that. That's not a problem.
Okay. Well, what are you gonna do?
Anyway, are you participating in the grabbing or not? Real one.
Yeah, I'll grab the
Simulation.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's a simulation. I swear.
While you guys are grabbing him, I sneak up from behind to grab the realist. He's the one I'm actually going to wrap up.
Oh damn it! Are you gonna kill me?
No, sorry,
Oh.
not the real one.
The NPC. Okay.
The NPC who is for the real world. He's the one I'm going to kill. I'm going to kill him by Flexbot wrapping myself around his head and choking him.
Okay. That's not instantaneous. I mean, it's
by no
quick.
means.
Okay.
By no means instantaneous.
All right. Yeah, 95. Give me another will save to see yourself get murdered.
I make it.
Okay. Yeah. It's certainly a thing that's happening. Just disassociate as hard as you can.
It's a day at the office. This is a day at the office.
Day at the
I
office.
would rather be at the office.
Yeah, I'd rather be fishing. So you killed the realist one. The one who thinks it's a simulation, like gets up and thank you so much. Someday we'll be in the real world, but not now. And he walks back into the computronium and disappears.
Okay.
Leaving you a corpse. And yeah, at that point we can just say your memories end and you're back in the briefing room if you want to be. Well, actually, no, you wouldn't remember any of this. But is there anything else you want to do before you farcast out? Because so what happens is that the computronium does shut down. It entirely deactivates and starts to crumble.
Okay. Now, so does Medusa remember our claims from the last time that this had happened 5 or 6 times?
Nope.
That's not part of reality anymore?
Nope.
She does at least remember me talking about this at the last iteration. So
yeah, she does. She does know that there's no evidence whatsoever that there was a
right.
loop.
No, that's right. That's right. I just want to know if there was even circumstantial, crazy people saying crazy things evidence, i.e.
No, well, yeah, your testimony is the only evidence that happened.
Okay, that's fair. So what does Ghost remember about the whole affair? He saw us go in once.
Yeah, it's remarkably similar to Medusa. He saw you go in. He basically, as you guys were getting ready, she activated the memory lock, and then the 2 copies came out and started pleading for their life, and the knife just sort of flopped out of there. And then you talked and
I watched myself be a cold motherfucker.
Yeah, so Ghost has no memory of the time loop either. It's remarkably similar to Medusa's. There's no discrepancies in that. Yeah. So as far as you can tell, yeah, it was a time loop that there's no evidence of it happening, or you were put in a simulation up until it decided to do that for real.
As the stars that are starry in our time of darkness, to the end they remain.
Mm-hmm. Well, you apparently, so you go back up. As you head back, though, although you won't remember it, there are actually you see numerous fractal trolls. In fact, too many for you to fight. They're watching you from the side tunnels, and they're just that, watching you. Some of them point at 9 to 5. One of them actually kind of makes a gesture of thanking you, 9 to 5. And then there is although you won't know it, they find later evidence, a shrine to 9 to 5.
Oh, wow.
That was made years ago. Although you won't know that.
You don't need to know that. It's not good for you to know that.
Well, they don't find it until weeks later. They just find that the Fractal Troll made a shrine and carved images of 9 to 5's face, kneeling, 2 of 9 to 5 kneeling, and with a knife between them.
Be grateful for your gaps.
Yeah.
So you've become a god to the Fractal Trolls, apparently. But they, of course, will never. They debrief you. They farcast you out. Memory locks are out. So you wake back up in a simul space meeting room with Proxy Zealot again. It was are you back in fully instantiated in the simul space? Are you the farcasting and the memory lock removal was a bit tricky, but it was a very tricky operation.
Yep. We wake up and it's the beginning of the movie Paycheck.
So the mission was a success. Both of you actually were instrumental in finding a third solution to the problem. And the threat has been neutralized due to your unique contributions. I can provide. It has been advised that it would be beneficial if you do not know the details. However, certain elements within Firewall believe that you have the right to ask at this time and this time only if you want to know more details about what happened. But it would be detrimental to your long-term mental health. So, but you should have that choice.
Were we able to find out the nature of the Computronium, what it was up to?
Yes, it was obsessed with. Well, yes, you did find that out. If you knowing more about that would, do you want to know more? Because this would be in the threshold of being detrimental to your mental health. But you do have that right.
Pass.
9 to 5. Suddenly he reloads. It's like, oh, welcome back.
God damn it.
And he goes on. It doesn't happen again. It just happens at one time. But you just like, oh. Yeah, you have to excuse me. This simul space software is a bit buggy. We're using an older version on this deep space vessel. Sort of a scientific research vessel we're using, sort of a waypoint. We're just on server space here. Anyways, 95. Did you want to know any details about this? It would be detrimental to your mental health, but you do have a right to know. You have earned that right. But
you know what? Yeah, tell me what you can tell me.
All right. The nature of the threat was in this case, Constantine, you do not want to know, is my understanding. So I would believe this is where we part ways. So, do you have any final questions before we get into that?
Just chalk it up to my rep. I'll see you at the next buggy apartment building.
All right. Yes. Of course, your rep will be very high. I believe you will be. You've earned quite a bit of IREP today. Some of the kudos from some of the Titan hunters are going to be very grateful to you, although they will understand if you do not remember the details of it.
That's right.
Yeah, Medusa in particular is very impressed with your actions. Many 10 out of 10 on your Firewall Yelp.
Yes, this is what I'm really after.
Mm-hmm. All right, so he logs off. 9 to 5. You were able to ascertain that the artifact was obsessed with determining if this was reality or simulation. the nature of that means, and you directly interfaced with it. We have excised these memories from you, but given that you have interfaced with a Titan artifact, we believe now that because you've asked this, you may be at risk of developing a psychosis later on that you are also unsure of whether it's reality or a simulation. Further details are definitely too dangerous for you to know. Simply, you were injured in this operation.
I just raise up a hand politely. You understand my background. You understand that I am a person that came from data. I am a person that came from a simulation of a person.
Yes, well, if you layer simulations too deeply, you get lost.
I understand, but I also understand that it doesn't matter. They're one and the same.
Very well. Well, the nature of it is this: the interface talked to you directly. You were able to convince it that it was real, and it shut down. But in doing so, when it shut down,
wait, no. We convinced it that it was a simulation.
Out of character, yes. Proxy's talent is lying.
I apologize.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, unfortunately, you directly interfaced with the artifact and were able to convince it to shut down. But when it shut down, your morph was severely damaged. So we, of course, removed those memories. Also because, you've, as far as we can tell, you are definitely not infected with any form of the exurgent virus, nor is that Computronium sample infected with any known variant of exurgent virus. But it's very dangerous. But you should know you have come into contact with that. So you should avoid any future contact with Titan or exurgent technology if at all possible, at least close contact with it. We don't know how it may affect you in the future. Also, fractal trolls. You should avoid Iapetus entirely from now on.
Well, we'll have to keep that in mind for when we make our next pass through.
Well, we keep good records on this, but yes, we thank you for your. Of course, you will get a lot of IREP, and you deserve a lot of time off. So, yes, we will help you however we can. But you made quite a sacrifice for us.
I understand. Well, at least I came back through the other side with.
Yes, at least
what
you
I came back with.
Yes, you came back intact. You're damaged, but we were able to heal you. So, hopefully. But we'll have to keep monitoring you to make sure that there are no long-term effects. Especially if you have any questions about whether something is a simulation or reality, please let us know.
Again, I don't have to question it.
All right. And that's how we'll end. The proxy's out smiling and totally lying about what happened to you.
I have it. I have one more. By the way, all these quotes are because I took an interest in military literature for my character. So I boned up for the session, but I have a quote for that. Now all my lies are proved untrue, and I must face the men I slew. Proxy zealot, I know can feel the sentiment of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my little idea.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I might run this for RPPR at some point. I like the idea, but yeah, I just wanted an idea of like, hey, just get two groups to try and work together, and then it's like, well, it's Firewall. Let's make it fucking weird.
It was an interesting dynamic that we had no objective basis on which to choose.
Well, that was intentional. I did not want it to make it like, well, this is this approach, and this is like I specifically made each approach to be like basically incomprehensible. Like it's
our total incompetence played no role.
Well, you might have made. I would have given you some more information if you had like Titan specialized skills, like interest Titan weapons or Titan technology. But like in the end, like the basic, it's a technical problem, so it needs a technical solution. It's like disarming, WMD, but like the structuralists are using the tried and true data set. Like what Titan weapons and technology have done over a very broad period, where the conservatives are just focusing on the data they've collected from the artifact itself. So
new artifact, new data.
Yeah, exactly, which is a much more experimental approach. So it's basically involved building a lot of machines and a lot of weird science shit. So it would have been, basically a Manhattan level project kind of, but with nanotechnology. But yeah, there's no like, this is the good one and this is the bad one. So
there we went.
All right. Well, we'll end this live stream. Thank you all. Well, if you listen, those of you who listen in the future, thanks for supporting RPPR. Thank you too for supporting RPPR. And if you want to listen to more, check out RPPR on Patreon, patreon.com/RPPR. You too can play in this those who listen to this in the future. But we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Have a good one.
Later.